That's all I know. G'day peeps, how are you all? Just doing a video talking about a combination of the Asus ROG monitor, 42-inch PG42UQ, and the 7900 XTX AMD graphics card. Combination of those two, 4K, max this monitor out. It's sweet as. So I just wanted to go through, just basically put it out there, show you what me card's running at, how I've tuned the card. Been using AMD for years, so you know, overclocking, how I've tweaked it to run my favourite game that I like playing endlessly at max settings, max frame rate, low frame times, and it's just a seamless, smooth experience playing the game. So bottom line, that's all the tweaks. You can pause the video, see what I've done there, power stuff, and it's just me, just been fiddled, tweaking it, going through the crashes, the freezes, the resets, to find where it's comfortable, where it runs the game. Just no dramas, just does it easy. The main one I played with that I noticed gave me the most trouble was getting my memory, the frequency up. I just wanted to try and see how far I could push it. I had coming from the 6900 XT, and the memory in that, you just couldn't fucking overclock it. You tweak it a little bit, that was it, not much. You go 50 plus hertz more and she'd freeze or crash all the time. Where this one, we've got it up about 200. It's a bit over 200 hertz higher, and with the power settings, it's super stable. Been running this now a week and a half, roughly, and no crashes. Hasn't messed around, done anything weird. It's been really good. So 2200 here, I've just set it there. My understanding, which once I'm in a 3D application, it won't go below that number at all, so no dips or, you know. 2920, this will push to 3000. I've had it at 3000. Millivolts, had to run it like 1125 and it would do that, but you couldn't push the memory as high. So like I said, with this tune up, I focused on memory, get the memory up there, just wanted to run it. So that's me stable settings there. 1115 on the millivolts and 14 on the power limit. And you'll see once we get into the game, I didn't need to go to 15, didn't need that extra power to push that any further, because keeps the temps so good, and it does what I need it to do. The fan fan settings, basically it sits in this range here. I sit in that around, once I'm playing, I'll hum around that 80 degrees, and you'll see the temp and the junction temp, there's probably about, what, 8 degrees difference between them, I suppose, 8 or 9, something like that. And that keeps my card in check. Temperatures stay solid, hang around the 80s on the junction, and the GPU itself is in the 70s, you know. So it just stays there. SAM, if you've got this card, you got a good CPU motherboard to go with it. So SAM enabled. Now, what I do, I'll show you the other in-game settings on the card itself. Now, anti-lag, I found turning that on. The reason I'm using that is so it links with HAGs, which I'll explain in a minute what I'm doing with HAGs. Image scaling, I'll run that at 80. Now, what I also do, this monitor has a max hertz or FPS of 138 overclock. That's as high as it goes, 138. If I let the game push past that, I see tearing. So to eliminate tearing and not push past that level, I set this. I force the card to run at 136 FPS max, no matter what I'm doing, what game I'm playing. That's the max. Won't go any higher. Got that one enabled. The display, FreeSync on, and that's about it. Not doing any color correction. I'm just doing that in game, in the game itself. And what I've got to show you, just say the driver. I'm not on the standard generic AMD driver. I'm on the Windows 11 Insider program, and I did that just to see what new things they're doing. But it also enabled me to have HAGs on it, hardware accelerated graphics scheduler, which that I notice helps heaps in game when you look at the frame pacing for the graphics card and the CPU. They used to float like have a difference between them. And what I've noticed with HAGs on, they seem to hang around each other a lot closer, very close. So in doing that, when you got the Windows Insider program on, it makes you download this driver, 23.20.00.39. And it's a stripped down, it's an official AMD driver, but it's a stripped down version. You don't have all the other tabs presets with streaming, recording, the relive functions. A lot of that stuff's gone. It's not there, but it gives you everything else. You can still tune the card, tweak all the main settings. Everything's still there. If I update to the latest driver, get rid of this one and put on the one you download from AMD's website, 23.5.2, I think it's the latest. Every time my Windows does or checks for an update, it freaking keeps re-downloading this driver and overriding the other driver. So I'm stuck with this driver basically, but it works well. It works really good. No issues at all. And the card's paired up with the 5950X, which for what I do for the gaming, it's overkill. I didn't need to. I just at the time brought the biggest, fastest AMD I could buy, and that was it. And when you'll see in game, the CPU, when you see all the Intel up, it's running 1-2%. That's all it's doing. It just doesn't work. Even when I'm recording, if I'm streaming, it might sit around 3%, around there, 5%, but that's it, man. It's just massively overkill. And these stuff here, not touched. Haven't touched any of that. And then metrics, you'll see the overlay is all positioned around. They'll show up in game. And so that's it. So I'll leave that there. You can pause that. Look at what's going on there. Everyone's going to be different. You might be able to do better. I can push this a bit more, but I don't need to because it's maxed. It doesn't run fully at 100% when I'm playing the game, which you'll see when the telemetry comes up on the side. And if you utilize FSR2, my GPU usage drops down to around 80%. It's just not getting pushed hard at all. So this allows me to run the game with because not every game, X-Defiant didn't have FSR option on it. So to run that at 4K and hit my 136 FPS, I was having to put settings around the high, medium. I couldn't max everything out. You had to fiddle around with stuff to bring it, to let the frame rate get up to that cap. So these settings, my game, I don't need FSR to be fully maxed out and hit my frame rate. All right, we'll jump into the game, show you all the settings and how it goes. And once it gets going, we'll just jump in. I'm a search and destroy player. Modern Warfare 2 is basically all I play. And I'm on PC, but I'm a controller. Use the Elite. 2 of the paddles on the back I use. And like Witcher 3, Fallout 4, they're probably my other 2 favourite games. And Witcher 3, as you can see, got the tattoo on the arm. That's how much I played that game. Alright, what I'll do quickly though is fucking mute everything in case someone jumps in. Push to top. Now, yeah, getting invited already. I'll turn that off. So when I go in the room, you're not listening because fuck, there's a lot of dickheads on here. Alright, so basically the graphics, what I'm doing in here for this game, on this monitor, like I said, it caps out 138 Hz, you can't push any higher. If I go past that 138, I get screen tearing, and screen tearing, it's horrible. So, that, dynamics off, all this is off. I'm running a custom frame rate, so while I'm in the lobby or in the menu or anything like this, I just put it at 60 FPS. The game's not going hard. Now, what I will do, yeah. So that's the telemetry up there on the side. You can see where everything's running. That memory clock just locks at 2700. You just don't see a waiver. It just stays there. In the game, once you're playing, this will run up to 20 meg use, or 20 gigs, sorry, of the graphics card. Alright, so back in the graphics, that's that. And then I don't use the HDR. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. To me, it looks shit. And it looks washed out, looks pale. I don't know. I like my colours in game. So I'll leave that off. And same in Windows, it's all off. And the monitor itself, I've got HDR turned off. Now the graphics. So scaling's off and everything else is maxed. Now the video memory scale, I play between 70 and 80. If I run it at 80, it uses up to nearly 22 gig of the graphics card. So 70, I'm using around the 20, and I'm not getting any hitching, stuttering or anything like that. And all of these settings, they're as high as they go. You can't go any higher. All maxed out. And where are we? And then these 4, 0 and off. Don't like them. And view, that's how I run it. Now while I'm here, I suppose, and then color. So my in-game color, I use this one here, filter 2, filter target both, and just maxed out the world color and the interface color. And for me, that's the color, I like it, I'm happy with that. Now, if anyone's curious about the controller, quick settings for you. Haven't changed any of this. They still go. Don't know if anyone wants that. Now, advanced stuff, run aim assist. When I'm sniping, on or off, doesn't seem to be a huge difference between the two. But when you're running the assault rifles, definitely makes a difference. I'm on dynamic. I use linear for ages, always used linear. Got onto dynamic for this game, and I don't mind dynamic. Now, I don't know if I want anything else out of here. Alright. Now you'll see up top my GPU time, CPU time, they sit high there, but once it goes into game, it sort of hangs around anywhere from 7 to 5 in that area. And I'll also show you with FSR turned on how the GPU utilization drops a lot, but the actual frame times you see up top actually go a little bit lower and more stable. But I just like the raw data on the screen. Looks beautiful. And I do have to say that this screen, Asus screen, this is absolutely, it's amazing. It's beautiful. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, because the HDR is poo. Don't like it. That's the only criticism I got.
We lost that round. Ready up for the next one.
So you can see there now I'm in game. Frame times, they hang around that area.
Search and destroy.
The usage, you'll see the GPU utilization bounce up and down. There's this bloke, he's in there. Oh, under the car. Alright, so you see the temps. Temps will creep up, the junction temp. They'll get up around, I'll see that 81, 82. It just seems to hang around there with those fan settings on. Yeah, so stable as like the temperature, that fan, that card. Now, I've got to say the card, it's the Sapphire Nitro Plus vapor chamber freaking thing. But mate, the temperature on that card just keeps it there and keeps it there like for hours. I'll play this 4 hours sessions, sometimes longer. Some of my streams, I'll stream for 3 hours. And temp stays solid. The memory clock just flat lines there. Doesn't dip or mess around. And you see the memories, 20 gig. GPU clock, depending on the map. Some of the different maps, you'll see it fluctuate depending on what's going on, normal. And my FPS, I'll hit that. You'll see it 125, 136. It just bounces around there, depending on what's going. Heaps of smoke and shit. But I'll show you what FSR does as well. Quick run. Fuck, I'm dead. Dead. Oh, that was done. Now. So now if I put FSR on. Oh wait there, let me show you. So I'll leave that on quality. I'll basically be locked at 136 FPS. I'll pretty much be locked there almost all the time. And bring that back up. GPU usage drops down. And the CPU, as you can see there, 2%, 3%, just doesn't work hard at all. Now, I sort of hope that helps people curious how it performs. I've seen a lot of videos on the screen, how they set up the screen, what they do with it. But no, this is me tuning the card to the screen. I had the 6900 XT, which was great. as a 1440p graphics card. I used to have that. I used to have the Samsung G7 240 hertz 1440p monitor, and that card ran that screen absolutely amazing. Look, perfect. Now I've gone to the Asus 4K, needed more grunt, and the 7900 XTX is what I reckon just a perfect match. Looks after this card really well. Now jump out of there. So that's, I'm just messing around with the game, mate. And I tell you what, all these settings doesn't make a shit gamer any better. Doesn't. So don't think you're gonna be, I don't know, CDL player. I'll just let that run if you just want to watch all that. These fellas camp. I can't camp. I've got to run around everywhere. Come on, boys. There's not much else to tell you. If you've got any sort of questions on the monitor itself, because I can't show you the on-screen display. So if you want to know what any of those settings are, they're pretty straightforward. I've just got HDR is off, overclocking's on, so I can get, because it's standard 120 hertz. Overclock it, lets you get 138 hertz. VRR, variable refresh rate, that's enabled.
Failed. Return to base.
That's about it really. Black levels on 2. Alright, I hope that's not too boring or weird and that helps you out or gives you an insight to the setup, but I believe these two, they're perfect. They just go together very well. Okay. Once again, that's all the tweaks. And like I said, it's been about a week and a half. No messing around, no crashing, no nothing. And also that I'm on the insider program with HAGs enabled, and the non-public issue driver, I suppose. I don't know if you can download this driver. I really don't know. Alright then, peoples, enjoy. Hope this helps. Hope you got something useful out of it. Any questions, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to freaking answer you. Alright guys, take it easy. Have fun.